It's thejasminebrand.com, and I'm here with TV personality, author, and entrepreneur, Jackie Christie.
Thank you for having me.
I'm hesitant because I'm like, did I get all the titles right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's so many of them, huh?
It's a lot of titles.
Mogul? No, just
Okay. Well, entrepreneur, I think, covers it all. Yeah. This season of Basketball Wives, you've been on the show for the entire duration, 6 seasons. Mm-hmm. How has the show changed since you've started?
You know what? I would have to say that's a very good question. For the first 5 seasons, of course, a lot of the stuff was focused around me. Every season, it seemed like I was on the outs with everybody. And then this, as season 5 came in, I started, feeling like everybody's finally, everybody's grooving. Mm-hmm. And then 6 came in, like, boom.
Do you think this is your most challenging season, or is there another season that stands out that has been most difficult for you?
I think season 1 was most challenging for me. Because
what was going on in season 1?
Remember, it was 5 or 6 girls against me in Hawaii. Everything was fine when we went over, but then once we got there, they all turned on me.
Okay.
I was walking down the hall behind Drea, like, why are you doing this? And blah, blah. And he got in the elevator and was like, we're going to feed the dolphins. And I was so mad. Mm-hmm. Like, that's when I realized, oh, my God, these women, they will click up. And, so that's when I seen that, okay, it's not a game. We at war.
So was that season more difficult than this season?
That one I think was.
Definitely. Okay. And has this season been difficult for you?
This season has been. It's been challenging only because of all the accusations and, really trying to, take the high road and be positive and just, I kept thinking if I just be quiet, don't add fuel to the fire, this will all stop. This nonsense will stop. Okay. And it just seemed to keep growing and growing and growing.
Okay. Before we talk about the little bit about the nonsense, it seems like your friendships with Malaysia and Tammy kind of blossomed. Do you feel, is that an accurate sort of way of how you feel?
Definitely. I feel like me and Tammy's always had a great relationship. We have our words here and there, but there's a realness and a respect and love between the two of us. I really dig her, and I think this season you see that it really went to another level with Tammy and I. I have nothing but respect for her always, no matter what. Malaysia, been knowing her for a very long time. We started together, me and Malaysia, kind of been here in LA, first season all the way to now. We went through some challenging times as well, but if you notice, me and Malaysia never crossed that line with each other. Right. It was always, we might say some things or argue, but we always found a common ground and came back together. And I think this season, it was when, boom, okay, now there's clear lines being drawn, and I really was, excited and happy to see her on that side.
As a viewer, I was not surprised that Malaysia had your back, but I was surprised that I didn't know where Tammy was going to land in the, because I know she has a friendship with you, and I know she has a friendship with Shaunie, and I know not so much with Evelyn, so I was like, oh, okay, which, whatever, it's fine, but I was surprised. Were you surprised that she really kind of went out of her way to, or do you feel like she did? Because as a viewer,
you know what, I feel like Tammy is just a realness, and Tammy is one person that's, I'll say neutral only because Tammy's gonna go with right or wrong, and she's just gonna be whatever she feels is right or wrong. Tammy's not gonna play games. She knew that was a bunch of bogus BS as far as all that stuff with my daughter, and she didn't want to be a part of it. And she kept making it clear from day say go, I'm staying out of it. Before the season even started, she publicly was the one that went and did a video and said, I'm not involved in it. Right. That's not my business. So I just felt like Tammy was upstanding, and I got a lot of respect for her.
On the season finale, you sort of questioned, or you did question your friendship with Shaunie. What was that about? Why did you sort of question your friendship with her?
I felt like through the season we had been through so many ups and downs, and I had kept trying to explain to her what's going on with me and Evelyn is me and Evelyn. It's not me and you. So just fall back, stay out of it, because our friendship should be separate. And we had a conversation on the boardwalk, as everybody viewed and saw, and I explained to her again, and she said, okay, I'm going to stay out of it. And there again, I find you're back in it again, and now I find out you're sitting on the beach reading, frivolous, bogus BS, and it's just uncalled for. And now you're outside of the restaurant, drumming up more stuff. So I just felt like it was just getting to the point where Shaunie was kind of caught in the middle, but at the same time, you're doing all of this, so, where are we? What's up? If we're not friends, then we're not friends, but I felt like we were, and so that's why I asked her that.
So my question to you as a cast member, are you ever apprehensive? Like how you go off on another cast member or, confront them? In my mind, it's always different with how people talk to Shaunie because she has a little bit of leverage on the show. So are you, my question is, are you apprehensive with how you address her because she could have something to do with if you not returning to the show?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. I'm not apprehensive, and Shaunie has nothing to do with my job. I'm not employed by Shaunie. Shaunie's not my boss. Shaunie's a cast member. She's a friend, somebody that, you know what I mean, I know and have known. I have nothing but, respect for Shed and VH1, and that's where it is. You know what I mean? So no, I don't, and I don't care who you are. If you're disrespectful to me, I'm gonna be Jackie Christie, and that's at the end of the day, male, female, whoever you are. And I always try to take the high road. I always try to diplomatically talk about situations prior to leading up to, okay, now it's out of hand, everybody's upset now.
Right.
So that's what I'll continue to do.
Okay. What was the hardest thing, or the hardest thing for you to watch this season? Like, what scene or what episode was the hardest for you to see?
You know what? It was a lot of different not episodes, but scenes on different episodes that I just fast forwarded through, or I just didn't watch.
Okay.
Only because, when somebody's just hammering your name in the mud,
right,
and you're sitting there going, this is bogus, and why are you lying, and what you just don't want to sit there and live that. That's why I turn off my comments on social media sometimes.
Mm-hmm, you do.
I just don't want the negative banter. You guys can have it, but you're going to have it over there on another page.
Yes.
You're not going to have it on that, because I have fans that I inspire all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want that negativity on the page where we engage each other and we're talking and I'm inspiring and they're telling me things. I understand you have an opinion. Everybody has the right to it.
Right.
But not when you come on my page and accuse me and call me names and disrespect, and that's not going to happen.
Gotcha. Speaking of turning our comments off, so I was on your page today.
Okay.
And I noticed you had kind of, I feel like, okay, so as a viewer, I feel like you sort of a few times addressed like the controversy with your daughter, and then today I noticed you had kind of put a few things on there, sort of showing that you do have some sort of communication or relationship with your daughter. What made you decide to do that? You
know what? I love what you're asking me. I had prayed on it for a long time, and I kept saying, that's my daughter. At the end of the day, I love her no matter what. A mother's love for their child never changes, no matter what their child does to them. I have been nothing but exemplary for Cardi. Never spanked her, none of that stuff. So I feel like, whatever she's doing with this group of people she's working with, I call it like a cult of some sort, I don't know, or group that is, going around preying upon celebrities, trying to get money, extort, all of that stuff. It's hurtful to me, but at the same time, I just know my baby, and I know I love Takari.
Right.
So, I just decided I can't let the world keep being tricked and fooled. That whole thing with the Gold Fund and all those people donating that money and stuff. Them people, they gave out of the kindness of their heart to do whatever they thought they were doing. And I don't want no parts of none of that behavior. And now with this whole book thing and all of these stuff and these games, I had to show, look, I communicate with my daughter. This is me and my daughter talking.
Right.
It wasn't to expose her. I have thousands upon thousands of communications. Between us.
Do you plan to read her book? Is it out yet?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay, so you don't.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Because pretty much everything has been, all the things that they're going to fabricate and say has already been put out, and I've already seen it, and all I can do is just, I'll deal with things legally when that time comes.
Are you open to, at some point, I feel like I know the answer, but are you open to have a conversation with her at some point when this sort of dies down, or?
Well, me and Kari communicate all the time, and that's
what does that mean?
Like, understand. We talk on the phone, giggling, laughing like a mother and daughter do. You would be surprised. We, what I'm saying, correspond, text messages and everything. So to me, it's not like this big, I don't know why these people are painting this facade and, we haven't talked in months and months and months. Yes, we have.
Okay.
And we always will, and we always do. And a lot of times when this happens, because this happened before, this has been going on 6 years.
Okay.
If you guys look back to when it first started, and this girl, this woman that's pretending to be Kari's manager is the cause of all this garbage. And she's the one saying, I'm about to make $1 million, da-da-da. And that's what hurts me, is you're preying upon my child. You know what I mean? And you're in her head. And so I've already dealt with that before. So for me, it's like, Kari will call once all this, the show's not on now. Once the reunion comes on Monday, a lot of things are going to be found out. So everybody got to tune in.
Right.
That's going to be something.
Okay.
Then a couple weeks she'll call and apologize like she does all the time. And,
okay.
But this time it's a little different. This time it's more hurtful, it's deeper, it's a lot more garbage being put out, and it's unfair, and I have to put an end to it now. I cannot enable this behavior.
Okay, 2 more questions, then we're going to get off of this because I'm over it. I mean, it's entertaining, but it's kind of sensitive.
I feel the same.
So there is. I know you saw the clip. It's really old. You mentioned it was a clip between Laura and your daughter.
Oh, that's some other stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Was that what people bring that up and say? See, this is proof that she had a bad relationship with her other daughter. What is your what was that conversation about? And was she talking about Takari? Was she?
When people say that, it's sad because they're not understanding what Shaunie said.
Okay.
Shaunie said, I gave you guys everything. I was a great mom to you. And she said, yeah, but giving us everything isn't the same thing as being in there with us. The only place I've never been a partier. I've never been anywhere. I've always been with my family. I'm overprotective of my kids. So they've never stayed the night at friends' houses and all that. Everybody could come to our house, but they couldn't go there because I just, I want my baby safe.
Right.
So I'd be down the hall. So that's what I was trying to say. But it was, when you saw the little clip on our show, you didn't get to see that part when I explained that. So my whole thing is my daughter, if you listen to what she was saying, was, yes, you gave us everything. So it's contradicting Takari, if anything, is why are you saying that I don't support you and I never supported you and this and that? Stop with the nonsense. So that's what that is. That's why I don't address those clips. I just let people say whatever. When the time comes for Chantel Nicole Christie to speak, she's going to speak.
Okay. The clip I was referring to was the one where she said you used to make her
drink.
Yeah, like this treadmill, and she wasn't. She kind of you had an issue with her being in the photos, maybe. Like she kind of. Okay, I'm just.
No, I'm saying I feel so. No.
Okay.
And I've posted, if people go down my timeline,
you posted pictures with her.
Life. You'll see the life, my daughter. Do you see her dressed any different than Shaunie or anything else?
Right.
Like we're a happy, loving family. I just happen to be, on television and be a celebrity and unfortunately going through what other celebrities are going through, and it's unfortunate. I hope that I'm an example and I try for others to take the high road for a very long time. I'll continue to do that when it comes to my kids. I'm not going to go with the press, but I am going to tell the truth, and I am going to let the world know this is not fair and this is not right, and I'm not going to sit by and let it happen to me. It's not going to happen.
Do you think in her mind, the things that she says happened, do you think they actually in her mind happened, or you think it may be other people sort of?
These are all conjured up.
Okay, gotcha.
Scenarios for cash.
Okay. Okay, moving on. The reunion teaser. There's a clip that you don't know your grandbaby's birthday.
I do not know his birthday. I don't know any of them's birthday. I don't know any of my.
I'm not a birthday person either. I don't know anybody's birthday.
I got 5 sisters, so it's 6 girls and 2 boys in my family. I can tell you my baby sister's birthday, January 4th. That's it.
Are there any other old cast members that you wish would come back?
You know what? I think I laugh because if you're gonna bring back older cast members from other shows or this show, bring everybody. Just have a big smorgasbord. But I think a lot of the women that was on the show doing other stuff and went on with their lives, and this show, like I said, it's my baby, and we'll see where it goes from here.
Okay. If you're asked to come back, would you come back?
That's a trick question. Just tune into the reunion, and that's what I'll say.
A little birdie told me that you might be working on a spinoff, like your own sort of series. Is any truth to that?
I've been offered a spinoff for years, and I kept turning it down because I felt like I'm already on Basketball Wives LA. I don't want to spread myself thin, and I want to make sure our viewers that's loyal to us, all these millions of people that watch every season, I'm not doing all this. But I think it's time to diversify for me, and I feel like I have a lot to offer, a lot to share, so I am working on several different projects, and that's why I said it's going to be a lot more Jackie Christie coming in the future.
Okay. What's the biggest misconception about who you are?
The biggest misconception is she's a troublemaker, she's dishonest, that I'm a drunk.
Are you crazy?
I mean, the super mega biggest misconception is that I'm, mentally unstable. I don't, I feel like there's in society is sad because people actually use that and they're shaming folks' mental stabilities by saying that.
Right.
That's wrong. We have a platform, and that calling people crazy and you're this and you're that is just uncalled for. And no, I'm not. I think people see that now.
When you see yourself on TV, do you feel like you're accurately portrayed? Do you understand why you get criticized sometimes, or you're oblivious to it, like you don't understand what people are saying sometimes?
I feel like I am a hell of an entertainer. I feel like I'm the best to ever do it as far as our situation goes. I feel like I am very transparent, and I'm going to give you how I feel. I'm raw and uncut. So if in the event a scene is captured where I'm angry with someone because they're doing something, or I might be, whatever it is, and people want to look at that and say, oh my God, she's crazy, but we love her because she's funny, or whatever it is,
Right.
then that's what they're taking away from it. My thing is, I'm just giving you raw emotion on whatever you're giving me. If I'm excited because you're doing great on the stage, I'm going to clap as hard as I can, just like I would if cameras wasn't rolling. So with me, you're going to get authentic realness all the time. And I'm sad that people, some people want to try to label it something, but millions of people wouldn't be watching if it was a bad thing.
Gotcha. Okay, outside of Basketball Wives, what other projects do you have going on?
Oh my God, I have plays coming up. I have Before You Say I Do coming up in October.
And you're in this, or are you producing it?
No, I'm
You're
in that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in that one. And then I also have a movie coming out. I also have another play with Shelley Garrett, Beauty Shop, that's coming out. Of course, if in the event we make our decision on season 7, then we'll be back, because there is a season 7 of Basketball Wives. That'll start filming in a few months.
Okay.
There's just a lot on the table. And then I have some, individual projects that I'm working on that I can't really speak about right now.
Okay, and then we have books on our lap.
Yes, we have my books. These are 4 of the 5 books that I've written. So I'm on tour right now, me and Darren Henson, and
like
a
Darren.
group of women. Darren is amazing,
cool, yeah.
smart guy,
Good guy.
great energy, positive. And the funny thing is we started working together about 6 months ago, and I was surprised he didn't judge from what he had heard. He hadn't really watched the show that much. Now he watches it and he's like, Jackie! But he knows, and he's like, oh my God, and he tells everybody she's the most amazing person and you really should get to know her. So our relationship as far as being authors and just, people in our community out here trying to make a difference is phenomenal. We go all around the country. We get love everywhere we go. It's crazy. And then we'll be in New York on Monday, the 14th. And we'll be at Clyde Frazier, so everybody should come out.
Okay. Before I let you go, I ask general life questions to everyone on interview. First of all, when is the last time you cried?
Last time I cried would have been 3 days ago.
Okay, you want to share one?
It's a big reveal that I can't share yet.
Okay.
But it's just got something to do with me and an emotional state that I'm in, dealing with my body.
Okay. Okay. Your favorite time of day to have sex?
Favorite time of day? Nighttime.
Nighttime.
1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, we have a specific time. Okay. When's the last time you were in a physical fight?
Last time I was in a physical fight, I gotta think about that. I would have to say a couple months ago on the show in New York with Evelyn. Well, we didn't attack,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was physical.
Okay. Your favorite reality show to watch besides your own show?
Favorite reality show, to watch. Reality. I would have to say Atlanta Housewives.
Atlanta Housewives your favorite? Okay. Last question. If you could ask God anything, one question loud, and he would answer loud and clear, what would you ask him?
If I could ask God anything, it would be, Lord, why am I being tested? And what is it that you want me to learn from this whole menagerie where I can help others?